4 times faster. $900 billion. 4.4% down in a single day. 7 numbers dropped in the last 24 hours that just rewrote the entire tech industry. One company quietly overtook OpenAI. Smart glasses with brand names you would actually wear are landing this fall. And the biggest AI rally of the decade just got punched in the mouth. Stay with me, because every one of these hits your wallet. Today, May 19th, Google fired the loudest shot of the year. On stage at I/O 2026, it unveiled Gemini 3.5 Flash, a model the company claims is 4 times faster than every other frontier system on the market today. Read that line again. 4 times. Not 20%. Not on some cherry-picked benchmark. 4 times faster across coding, reasoning, and multimodal tasks, rolling out today inside the Gemini app, search, the anti-gravity platform, and the public API. Here is what that really means. Speed is the new battleground. The smartest model on Earth is useless if it takes 10 seconds to answer. Gemini 3.5 Flash is Google's signal that the next generation of AI will feel less like waiting on a slow website and more like a real conversation. Gemini 3.5 Pro is already in testing, with general availability slated for next month. Translation: Google is no longer playing catch-up. Google is now setting the pace. Bombshell number 2 also detonated on the I/O stage. It is called Gemini Spark, and Google is describing it as your personal agent. It does not just answer questions. It takes real actions on your behalf. It reads your Gmail, plans your calendar, edits your docs, and Google says it will soon move across third-party apps as well. It is launching next week for Google AI Ultra subscribers in the United States. Not someday in 2027. Next week. Think about what that quietly breaks. If your assistant can actually book the flight, draft the email, file the expense report, and update the spreadsheet without asking you to click anything, every productivity app sitting on your phone becomes a feature, not a destination. The browser tab era is ending in real time, right in front of us. And Google just made the first move that the entire industry will be forced to copy within months. Bombshell 3, the smart glasses are back, and this time they actually have brand names you would wear in public. Google unveiled Android XR audio glasses, built with Samsung and Qualcomm, and designed by Gentle Monster and Warby Parker. Launch window, fall of 2026. They work with Android phones and, surprisingly, with iPhones. Read that again. The glasses Apple should have made first will run on Google's brain and sit on Samsung's hardware. Why this matters: every previous attempt at smart glasses failed because they looked ridiculous on a human face. Google's bet is simple. Partner with the designers people already trust to put on every morning, hide the AI inside the frames, and let Gemini do the talking, the listening, and the translating in the background. If this lands as planned, it is the first real challenger to the smartphone in 15 years, and a direct attack on Apple's tightest moat. Bombshell 4 hides in the fine print, and it might be the biggest one of them all. Google AI Ultra now starts at $100 a month. The old $250 plan? Slashed to $200. Translation: Google just cut prices in the middle of an industry that has spent the past year quietly raising them. Either Google's compute costs have collapsed, or Google smelled blood in the water and decided to bleed everyone else first. And here is why that single line is terrifying for competitors. OpenAI's Pro tier sits at $200 a month. Anthropic's top tier lives in similar territory. Google is now undercutting both of them while shipping a faster model, a personal agent, and a redesigned Gemini app called Neural Expressive. The phrase "race to the bottom" was invented for this exact moment, and Google just fired the starting gun on a fight that nobody else wanted to start. Bombshell 5 surfaced through a leak. As of May 18, Anthropic is in active talks to raise $30 billion at a valuation reportedly north of $900 billion. Let that number settle in your head. $900 billion. If the round closes anywhere near that mark, Anthropic will pass OpenAI's $852 billion March valuation for the first time ever. The challenger just officially lapped the champion at the funding round level. The fuel behind that number is real. Anthropic disclosed that Q1 2026 revenue grew 80 times year over year. Annualized revenue now sits above $44 billion. The number of customers paying more than $1 million a year just doubled in only 2 months. This is not hype, and it is not a vibes round. It is enterprise money flooding in faster than even the most bullish analysts forecasted, and Wall Street is finally noticing loudly. Bombshell 6 confirms OpenAI is not standing still. Yesterday, OpenAI launched something called the OpenAI Deployment Company. It is sitting on more than $4 billion in initial funding, and its entire job is to help large enterprises actually build, run, and trust AI inside their core operations. On the same day, OpenAI also announced a partnership with Dell Technologies to push its Codex coding agent onto hybrid and on-premises enterprise hardware around the world. That last detail is enormous. Hybrid and on-premises means OpenAI is finally following the money into banks, hospitals, governments, and defense contractors, every customer that legally cannot drop sensitive data into a public cloud. Anthropic has been quietly owning enterprise for a year. OpenAI just stopped pretending it did not care, and is now spending real cash to fight for that exact same wallet. The enterprise AI war officially has two heavyweights, not one. Bombshell 7 flipped the entire mood on Wall Street. Yesterday Nvidia closed down 4.4%, the single worst performer in the Dow. Tesla fell roughly 3% on growing fears that a SpaceX initial public offering would fragment what investors call the Musk premium. The Nasdaq sank a full 1.5% to 26,225. The 10-year Treasury yield punched above 4.6%, the highest reading in a year. Why is that happening right now? Fresh inflation data came in hotter than expected. Oil rallied on renewed Iran tension. And suddenly the AI rally that carried this market for 2 straight years started looking very expensive on a multiple basis. When the cheapest borrowing rates in a year vanish from the table, even Nvidia bleeds. Remember that detail. Every single bombshell above was launched into a market that is no longer handing out free passes. Now zoom out. Stack these 7 stories on top of each other and one clean picture forms. Google is aggressively squeezing prices. Anthropic is winning enterprise revenue. OpenAI is forcing its way into regulated industries. Smart glasses are about to redefine consumer hardware. Personal agents are about to redefine consumer software. And the public market is asking, finally and loudly, every single one of these players to actually prove the numbers behind their press releases. The hidden winner in all of this? Not the giants. It is the small companies building on top of these models. Every cheaper token, every faster API, every new agent platform makes a tiny team dramatically more dangerous to incumbents. The next billion-dollar startup will be 3 people, a Gemini API key, a Claude key, and one sharp idea. The barrier to launching a real software product just dropped again, possibly for the last big time. The hidden loser? Every SaaS company whose entire moat was a nice interface sitting on top of a database. Gemini Spark, the OpenAI deployment company, Claude for small business and its 15 agentic workflows, they are all coming directly for that exact business model. If your software is a form, an agent will replace you. If your software is a workflow, an agent will absorb you. The countdown clock is finally visible. And the regulators? They are watching all of this in real time. More than 60 MAGA-aligned figures are reportedly pressing the Trump administration to mandate advanced model vetting before public release. European officials are openly warning their continent is sliding into deep dependence on US-controlled AI infrastructure. Every bombshell you just heard makes that conversation louder, not quieter, and the next 30 days could rewrite the rules everyone is currently playing by. So here is your survival map for the next 90 days. Watch the price wars closely. Watch enterprise deal sizes carefully. Watch when Gemini 3.5 Pro actually ships next month. Watch how quickly Anthropic's $30 billion round closes. Watch whether those Android XR glasses ship on schedule this fall. And watch the Nasdaq, because every single one of these stories ultimately runs on the same fuel, money, momentum, and the belief that this rally still has room. Closing question, and I want you to actually answer it. Of these 7 bombshells from the last 24 hours, which one do you think genuinely changes your life first? The personal agent quietly living in your pocket, the smart glasses sitting on your face, or the silent earthquake happening inside the stocks that fund all of this? Drop your pick in the comments below. I am reading every single one of them tonight. Hope you got something out of this. Hit subscribe for more in this lane, and we'll see you in the next one.